Hey everybody. So this is going to be a really interesting episode. It's going to be totally different than any of the Nikki Nights we've done. Of course, I'm back on my phone. I'm in, Ginno. Pop in. So you guys know that normally we have actors and a bunch of different people in, the entertainment business on, chefs, artists, but today is different. Today, two of my best friends are going to interview me. Not just my best friends, two people that know me incredibly well, that have known me. Both of them have known me for over 15 years. That's scary. My best friend, Ginno Murphy, you guys have seen him on red carpets with me endlessly. He is the Jack to my Karen. Oh my gosh, he's everything. So, also, Diana is going to be popping in. Diana likes to usually, go behind the scenes and do her thing. But today she actually was the one that said, maybe we could do like a meet the team. I said, are you sure? Because I know you love the behind the scenes. So Diana is going to be chatting with us too. So this should be interesting. Oh, Ginno has entered the waiting room. Let's admit him. Let's admit him to the psych unit. Hey, there you are. I admitted you.
There we go.
I feel like that's the weirdest term, don't you think? It's like
Admitting
you
you?
want to admit the person. No, just bring them in.
It's very clinical.
Yeah, it's very, I feel like I'm waiting online somewhere. So what's going on?
Oh, same shit, different day.
Yes, you know what drives me nuts about you? I just FaceTime with you at 2:01.
I mean, is what?
I just FaceTime with you at 2:01. In 15 minutes, you have done a complete overhaul. I mean, it was amazing before, but my God, you are one handsome little son of a bitch.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I literally just put a nice shirt on and cleaned up my beard, but I'm still in my sweatshorts, commando.
Nice. Well, I'm sitting here in
And,
my
I just was like, I'm going to put on a nice shirt instead of a hoodie.
Well, I think that is the logic of Zoom. It's like we're all going to put on nice shirts and then screw the kids.
Right.
Just screw them.
Who cares about the rest?
It doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah, no one's going to see. I mean, unless I show them, but we'll save that for another channel.
That's right. That's a totally different podcast.
Right. Yes, exactly.
One that I don't partake in.
Onlyfans.com.
Somebody asked me if I had one of those. Somebody messaged me on Instagram. They said, do you have an OnlyFans? I said, I didn't even know what to say at first. I was like, are you all right? Why would you? I was baffled. I was baffled. What,
that makes no sense.
No. It doesn't make any sense.
I would like to know what was going through that person's head that they were like, she must have one.
Well, see, Georgie has an OnlyFans account, but Georgie is Georgie, okay? I am not Georgie.
Well, correct. That is very correct.
I mean, there's a time and a place, and I don't think I need to, no, that's not, look, we all have different morals and ethics, and I'm just not, it's just not happening. Speaking of morals and ethics, here's Myth's Morals and Ethics, Diana. Let's admit her in.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
I can't see her. Oh, I have to swipe, I think.
Oh, yeah, there's the gallery view.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up?
I'm kind of joining. I'm sorry. we got a fourth person here today.
Who is? Oh, Panda.
Kitty. And I got my puppy right behind me. Hi, Miss Cora.
All day. The second I put on all the glass, I jump on my lap.
I have no pets today. None. Flying solo. I'll just rub myself. It's fine. So
well, speaking of OnlyFans. At this point,
it's quarantine. What else is there to do? Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
So I was just saying how you both have known me for over 15 years.
Yeah.
Diana's known me longer, though.
Longer, yeah. Because you guys went to school together, right?
22 years.
Jesus.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's longer than I've been alive.
Right, yes.
Same.
Yes, you know.
All of us.
You know, when Ginno was born at the Tonys,
That's, well,
in
and a cloud of
2002.
sparkles.
Oh gosh. So this is fun. I was really intrigued, Diana, when you reached out about this because you were like, I think it'd be fun for people to like meet. I think it's cool to let people meet the people that are like the biggest players in my life because I feel like I talk about you guys so much. It's nice to put a face to the name, you know?
100%.
Yeah, I'm not used to being on this side of the camera. It's definitely weird.
Yeah, is it? Are you not into it?
Also, I'm going to be totally honest. I put on makeup for the first time since March 7th.
How did that go?
I put out of my vanity, and I was like, how do I do this? Like, it's so long. What goes first? Like, I literally just sat there. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
It's so true, though, right? Like, some of the most basic things that I used to do on an everyday basis, like, when I have to do them now, I have to take a moment and be like, wait, what am I doing? How do I do this?
Oh, I had my beautiful black lace bra laying out. Do you think I'm wearing it? No.
Me too.
Right. Well, you know, at this
I got
point.
none on, so. But
You have one on?
No, but that was before quarantine thing too.
You know, a lot of things went down the tubes in quarantine. Bras and underwear were like one for me. One of the first ones. I was like, this is not.
We really learned what's important during quarantine, and clearly those are not it.
What's important for you right now during quarantine, Diana?
Really comfortable matching outfits.
I just wrote about this in my book.
I bought 18 pairs of matching sweats during quarantine. Wow. I'm a little ashamed, but I'm also really impressed because it's what I've been wearing every day. You know, I like
that's all that matters.
Yeah, I like to feel like I have my crap together. You know.
Well, and at least it's like something you're gonna use. You know.
Yeah, and I kind of hope that, you know, this whole quarantine chic stays around because I bought so many that these are coming out to the bar with me. Like, it's happening.
They should.
I fully endorse that. Fully endorse it.
They should. Every time I see a matching sweatsuit online now, I think of you. And I just sent you one the other day. I was like, oh, this is adorable. Let me send it to you.
And it's funny because I used to only ever wear black, but, like, I bought tie-dye, which if you asked me a year ago, I would have been like, commit me if I ever wear tie-dye. And now I'm like, I need another tie-dye outfit. I think I have 6. It's a problem. Even my mask.
That's hysterical.
I just bought yesterday, well, for Pride, I bought a rainbow headband.
Cute.
But that might be like the only little bit of color I've added into my life. I'm still pretty basic over here.
Yeah, you don't do a lot of color.
I can't. Well, see, I save it for the red carpets.
Yeah.
Like, because then I feel like it's done right. Like when a Gigi makes an amazing gown, like they did for the SAG Awards, like that royal blue color. I was living.
That dress was stunning.
But you know, in my real life, if I can't nail it like they can, then let's just keep it simple, folks.
I feel that.
Ginno, what's been a main thing for you during the quarantine? What are you needing?
I've just been binge drinking, to be honest. Because I just get to a point. Vodka soda, 100% all the way, except for Shabbat. Every Friday, then we obviously are doing wine. But yeah, I do my vodka sodas, and it's that's really it.
I have totally gone to Shabbat dinners where we make kiddush over whiskey. So, you know, anything goes on Shabbos. Yes.
Well, you introduced me, Diana, to this, what's the BARTE?
Bartniera.
Yes. We had that when we went to the game one day, when we went to Jersey. And we did
I'm so sorry, my eyes are like crazy. Sorry, 1 second.
It's okay. We don't have to talk about this if it's going to make you cry. It's all right.
It's so emotional. The days we used to go to sports games, I miss them. They're making me
cry. Oh, God. The sports game. There was a time when Diana and I went to like so many sports games. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had fun in our 20s.
I do miss that.
Now Mrs. Bassett.
I didn't go to a ton of like sporting events, but I do miss. Like this year, I was like, this season, I'm going to like as many Mets games as I can. And then all of a sudden they were like, haha, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? The Mets have a winning record right now.
It's true.
Well, yes, the first time in maybe a long time, but
I'm like really getting emotional for this. I'm sorry, my
yeah,
eyes are
better
really-
late than never, boys, you know.
Sorry, 1 second, guys.
Oh, it's okay.
Wow.
Diana's art always impresses me, and her art that you see on the walls kind of reminds me of yours because you have some really amazing pieces too, though.
Yeah, we love our art here in Shea Murphowitz. We
Shape.
have so much. Oh my God.
Well, Diana had this brilliant thing made for me for the launch of Nikki Nights, and it's this like amazing artist, and it's kind of graphic but kind of painting. I don't really know how she does it, and I've had like 8 pieces commissioned by her since.
Amazing.
I just love it, and I'm gonna eventually, you know, when Chateau Blonsky is
Is
cemented,
established.
yes, we will be putting
I'm
those
back.
up.
Sorry about that.
Is it
Oh,
My
a
eyes are,
local
like,
artist?
bright red. Like it's like I just developed allergies or something.
Who is what's the name of the artist, Diana, that that made the piece for my podcast? And then
Brianna, I can pull up her account so I can show it to you.
she's amazing. I'm obsessed with her work. Diana and I, we all have pieces from her now. I think Sam has pieces from her.
Page, it's kind of hard to see. Sorry, Brianna Jade Creative. She does these really cool paintings. I'll pull up the one that she did of Nikki since it's on her Instagram page.
I had her
Is
do
she local? Is she like a Long Island artist or?
You know, I don't actually know where she's located. That's a good question. That's, I guess, the beauty of the internet.
Oh, that's so cute.
She like takes pictures and she turns them into drawings.
I
Really
had one
cool.
done of my brother and his dog and my brother's girlfriend and their dog. So
Dog.
yep,
Oh,
that's Callie.
And this
Callie
was one she did of
baby.
my grandmother.
Oh, that's so cute.
Amazing.
Yeah, she's really talented. I love it. And it's only $10 a painting or a picture.
That's so cheap. I love
Yeah.
that.
So when
Affordable
I
art is
say
great
that
art.
when I say that I commissioned 8 pieces, I really meant I spent $80. You know,
One day her work's going to be, I think art, you know, completely the value always is going up. One day it could be $800 a piece and
It's true.
we lucky enough to be had her friend. That's like the pieces behind me. I got them before they got popular and they were so much cheaper than what they sell for now. And those are Oliver Gauls.
Diana
so
and I
cool.
have a very similar taste. Diana is like so chic, and I just kind of follow. I'm like, what? Yep. Like I was talking to Amy this morning, and I said, if I ever get married, I would have no problem handing the reins to Diana because I am confident that everything would look amazing because we have such similar tastes.
Like PR, which my husband might not like too much, but it works.
Yeah.
He appreciates it now.
Does he? All right. Good.
Yeah, he looks back and he was like, our wedding was so much better than everyone else's wedding because of all the work you did. I'm like, just remember that. He thought I was crazy.
Oh gosh. Well, both of you two are married now.
Tis true.
You know, when did you get married?
When am I?
No, I
Diana.
said Ginno. When was Gino's wedding?
I was like, why
When did
are
I
we
get-
asking ridiculous questions, Diana Bassett? Why are we asking these things?
This November is going to be our 4th anniversary. We got married right after the 2016 election because we both were just like, holy shit, we can't believe this happened. And I refuse to wait until the Trump administration is over. Like, I want to get married during the Obama administration in hopes that, like, should this motherfucker try to take rights away, which he's been at it. But yeah, it's going to be 4 years in November.
Congratulations, Mazel Tov.
Thank you. And how long have you been married now?
9 months yesterday.
Oh my God, it's still
Congratulations.
fresh.
Oh,
they're
Yay,
so like-
mazel.
Yeah, it feels like it's been an extended honeymoon because we were actually in Asia when the pandemic broke out for our
Oh, wow.
honeymoon. So we came back to quarantine. We came back the end of February and we were like, okay, we'll quarantine for 2 weeks
Yeah.
and then be fine. And obviously, we were in Thailand. It was completely safe there. And by the time we finished our 2 weeks, the rest of the world went into quarantine. I went out for 1 weekend and then had to go back in.
It's the worst.
Yeah, we've been liking each other, so it works.
That's a good
But-
thing. I was a little nervous at first because I was like, I've known Ellie for I don't know, like 10 years now or something like that, and we've been together for 7 of those, and like we're very good friends. But I thought this is really gonna test us. It's gonna push us to the limit, and if we can get through literally being together 24/7, then we'll be fine. Because I work in theater, so he works during the day, and then I'd be working at night. So our schedules were kind of opposite. So we didn't really see each other all that much, and now it's all we do is see each other.
But see, this is where I don't feel quite awful for you people. Diana, Nick is making you homemade sushi, and Ginno, Ellie is making you challah and latkes. So I feel no pity in my heart for either of you. None.
I'll tell you
That's
what,
jealousy.
that challah has been so good, and we just tried a new recipe last week or the week before, and it's just incredible. I'm never buying bread again.
There's nothing better than homemade challah.
Homemade challah French
It's so
toast, though.
good. Yes. Oh my God. And we've been using like everything but the bagel seasoning on the challah.
Yeah.
Last week we did one covered in za'atar.
Yeah.
So
Those boys know how to
trying
work.
trying some steps out.
Yeah, I don't cook. Nick does all the cooking for me.
That's amazing.
Like I don't
Love
even
that.
have to.
I'm always the cooker. Sad, please.
Yeah, you love to cook.
I do love to cook. I really do. I've just started getting my mother's chicken parm down. It's happening. It's happened. I mean, when I brought it to her when she was in the hospital, you both know my mother, so you know that this answer is very accurate. I said, Mom, how is it? And I had spent all day making chicken parm and pasta and cheese bread, the whole thing. She goes, it's good. It's a little acidic. I said, listen, Gordon Ramsay, I've had it with you. You can't please.
You're like, maybe it's your taste buds from being sick in the hospital.
Please. Maybe it's just your poor taste.
It's some good chicken parm though, I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually never had chicken parm in
Famous.
my life.
You've never had chicken parmesan?
It's so good.
For most of my life.
Now I
Really?
need to like order some.
No, I just need to make it. Once this is all over, we're just going to have a little whatever, and I'll make it, and you'll all be very happy. I promise this.
Oh,
No
I know I
problem.
will.
You guys can bring food. I'll bring the alcohol because that's all I can do.
There you go.
Sounds good. Deal.
I make great
There'll be
drinks.
chicken parm, there'll be challah.
Yes.
We've been making a lot of margaritas.
Ooh,
Nice.
yes.
Yeah. It's been good.
I haven't had a cocktail in, I want to say, like, geez, 2 months. And when I
Girl,
say
what are you waiting for?
the last cocktail I had was like 3 sips of like a Corona Light.
Girl, that's not a cocktail, that's a
Corona,
beer.
so it's your fault.
Living on the edge over here, guys. Living on the edge.
I
Speaking of the edge, are you going to take me to the edge with some questions?
Yeah, let's go do this.
All right.
So we started talking about quarantine. My first question for you is, what has been your best quarantine purchase? Like something that you never would have bought if we weren't in quarantine.
Oh gosh, there's been a few. I know that I ordered a book for me and for you. You'll Never Eat Lunch in This Town Again. Did you get it?
I haven't gotten it yet now.
All right, it's on the way. Surprise. It's Sam and I ordered it. So we ordered those books because I thought that was like a good read. You know, we're all in the business. It'd be beneficial to read it. There's been a lot of makeup purchases. Obviously, a lot of Diet Peach. And, you know, a lot of tuna fish and
A chair.
a chair. And I also bought one of those things for my chair at home that, you know, kind of hugs you when you sit, so it gives you nice back support.
Ooh, I could use one of
So
those.
important right now. It was all sitting and not doing anything.
I know. I'm literally trying to get in a better position.
Yeah, I'd be fidgeting too, but I have a sleeping cat on me. You know, you can't move once that happens.
Yep, certainly not.
Yeah.
So there have been some interesting purchases.
Did you buy yourself the same book that you bought for Diana?
I did. And I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I actually just finished reading a book called The Black Flamingo, which you should check out. It's a new book. It's incredible. It takes place in London. It's a young adult novel, but it's like written in the form of poetry, which was like weird. And I thought that would be hard to get into at first, but I literally finished it in like a day and a half.
Oh, nice.
Look into that.
Yeah.
To say, I used to read like every week, and since quarantine started, I haven't picked up a book. Which I'm like the opposite of the rest of the world.
Yeah, I'm like such an avid reader, and I've had such a hard time focusing during all this quarantine. But then with everything that's been going on and just reading like lists of books by, authors of color, and I was like, these all sound interesting. So we ordered a ton of them from a Black-owned bookshop up in the Bronx. And as they're coming in, I'm just like tearing through them, just like devouring all of these books, which is great. I'm like glad that I have my focus back.
What's the name of the bookstore?
What's that?
What's the name of the bookstore you ordered them from?
I'd have to ask Ellie again, but I think it's like Book Lab or something like that. But I'll ask him and I'll let you guys know.
I would love to support small bookstores because they're such a dying breed now.
Yep, 100%.
Do you know how I used the book that I bought?
What'd you do with it?
I used it in a TikTok as a prop.
Such a Gen Zer.
I know. Did I pick it up and read it yet? Not yet, but it's in a TikTok.
Do you know my favorite thing about Nikki and TikTok is that when she first got one, she sounded like such a grandma because she'd constantly be like, "Oh, have you seen this video on the TikTok?"
Yes, I call her out on it all the time. I'm like, Nikki, you're not 90. It's not the TikTok. It's like people call it the Facebook.
The Facebook, the YouTube. It made me laugh every time.
I would cry. I would say the same thing to her. I'm like, you're not 90 years old. Not putting the in front of it.
I had to, the FaceTime.
Look at this funny thing somebody posted on the TikTok.
Oh, God.
I wake up to 10 billion TikToks from Nikki, like her just sending me everything that she's thinking. I'm like, I don't even know how to process. Yes. Like, where did you go from one to the next? Like, how did this happen? What is going through your head?
I totally understand that though, because I have the same issue with like Graham Norton clips on YouTube. Is like you watch one because you're like, oh, this looks funny, and then before I know it, 2 hours have gone by, and I'm like just deep in that rabbit hole. Yeah. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, when my phone would be going, and I'm like, oh, Nikki's at it again. She's on the TikTok.
Yep. Like you know how her night went based on what TikTok she sent when.
Yes. You know what was happening during the course of the evening. I had my highs and lows. Oh my God. My peaks and my valleys.
Oh, so funny.
And, God, I love the TikTok. I love that damn place.
And
God.
This is not a paid endorsement.
It's not a paid endorsement. God. Oh. It might be one of my favorite.
Speaking of endorsements, here's a question for you. If you could choose from all of like your favorite brands or, whatever you want to call it, to do an endorsement, who is the one company that you would immediately be like, yeah, I'm doing an endorsement for you?
I've always been a big fan of like Pantene products. I don't, Pantene, Tresemme. I feel like me doing a hair commercial or some type of endorsement with a hair product is kind of just a given at this point. And I don't really know why it's not happened yet. I'm like, really? A hairspray line has not? All right. Okay.
Yeah, I can't believe that didn't happen right after the movie.
It's been 14 years. I don't know what Garnier Fructis is waiting for, but okay.
Maybe if you're listening, they'll start sending you things.
Well, that would be nice. Just to let you know, I love them all. They're all lovely products.
Them all.
Yeah, Aveeno face wash has been a big one. I love Aveeno. I like nice, good products, but at the same time, I am a big one on CVS. I love a good CVS run. A lot of my makeup is Revlon, all of those brands that you can
Yeah.
get.
I
All
love
of them.
that you CVS brand for makeup because you do an amazing job. And like, I really think we were discussing this earlier that you should totally do a get ready with me video.
I would love
Oh,
to.
100%.
Yeah, because you have amazing skin. Like, show what your skincare are, your favorite products, do your makeup, and like, I love the fact that it's all obtainable makeup, and you can do such an amazing job, which shows it's not the product, it's it's the talent. And I think people would love to watch how you do it and learn from you.
Well, I've been very blessed in the years that I've had in this business to work with some incredible artists, hair and makeup, and I mean everybody from Craig Ganji to please. So, just incredibly talented people, and I feel that through the quarantine and through the podcast, I've really learned my face. Like, because I've never been forced to do my own makeup so much,
Yeah.
and now I used to dread it, and now I actually kind of look forward to it daily. It's like that little pick me up. I'm like, all right, well, you're looking a little let's snap it back in, girl.
I love how you choose your style based on who you're talking to. Also, like when you had Constantine on and you went for more of a rocker look, and
Yes.
I see the difference when we talk beforehand, and I'm like, oh, she's going for the rocker look today. Oh, she's going for the soft look today. I love
Yeah.
it.
It depends on who I have. I know for like I think for Caroline Manzo because it was she has an amazing red hair. I did like a bold red lip. So I do base my looks off of my guests because somebody like a friend of mine said to me once, she goes, wow. She goes, she goes, where did you get that top? I go, the top. I got it at Torrid. I love another brand I love. And she goes, you always get so dressed up. I said, I value, my podcast and the platform that we're using. And I've seen other actresses do it, they just make themselves look decent. So it's just, I don't know, it's just a thing.
I'm a big
It makes me feel good.
it changes your whole perspective, especially when we're stuck at home and you're trying, you're in pajamas all day. It changes your mentality to be just dressed up and pull yourself together. It's like you feel like a real person.
Yes.
That's one thing that my husband has been particular about because he's still working. When he got the job he's at now, but he's since then always been particular about like my workspace is going to be in a separate space and I'm going to get up every day and I'm going to still get dressed like I would if I was going to the office. And this way you just like, you have to keep that going. It really does change the way you approach the world.
Yeah. I'm a person that like thrives on like a schedule and like the more shit packed in. I don't know why, but it works better for me.
Yeah, you have to keep busy. That's what I've always known about you is you're a busy bee. You always have to be doing something.
Yeah. Well, I got up at 4:30 this morning just right. Well, that was a lie. I didn't go to bed. I couldn't go to sleep last night. It was just I just couldn't. I don't know why. So I was like, well, let's make use of this time. This is how my brain works.
Okay, next question about still on the topic of quarantine and being busy. What's the first thing you're going to do when the quarantine is officially lifted?
Other than hug you guys. I know, adorable. No, geez. I would love to. I would love to go to a ball game if that was, up and running. That would be like, that would be the first thing. Yeah, nice Yankees game. But
Yankees? Oh, Mets.
Well, Mets, Yankees. Look, I don't really care. Just put me in a stadium with a beer in my hand. Some people running. I'm fine. I don't really care.
Some people running don't even care if they're playing a game. Just let them run.
Just play the game. I know how the game works. I played softball. I know how the game works. Just let's do it right, fellas. Let's have a nice time.
I'm so down for a game after.
Right?
Yeah, it would be real nice to have a beer and a hot dog.
Yeah, and like a Broadway show would be nice too.
Ugh.
That's gonna be one of the last things still left. I have a feeling.
I'm going to be unemployed for a long time.
Well, see, at least with baseball games, it's outside, so you
Yeah.
can. There's like that element of fresh air, but you're still. It's New York, so you're still sitting
Still
on
way
top
too
of it.
close, yeah.
Yeah, they'd have to like do every other seat type thing. I feel like it would. It's gonna be interesting to see how they left it. But
Yeah.
I went to one of the last theater shows before Broadway shut down for the pandemic, and I remember like it was a Saturday. I think closed Sunday. I went Saturday to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Cursed Child, and I was so neurotic. I brought wipes and the Lysol spray, and I'm wiping my chair down, and like people are staring at me. And now they're probably like, she was smart, but at the time, everyone thought I was neurotic. And 2 days later, everything is shut down.
Yeah.
Well, no, you work there, right?
I did. I worked there for the first year and a half-ish.
Nice. What did you do there?
I was one of the merchandising managers. It's a huge merchandising operation, and like honestly, 3 was not enough. We needed more than 3 managers. Like that's how like intense of a operation it is.
Yeah, the stuff was so cool. The way they set it up and everything. It's like
Yeah.
You don't really feel like you're in the theater. It's like another world.
They did a really great job, and what's really great about what they did to the theater in New York, which is completely different from what they did in London, is that the set designer actually designed everything from the set to the fixtures that are in and outside of the theater, the carpets that you see, the wallpapers, everything was designed by the set designer to make you feel like you were in this world from the moment you stepped foot through those front doors. And the attention to detail was absolutely insane.
Absolutely. My favorite was the footsteps from the martyrs map on the floor. I was following them around. Straight back to the bar. I know they didn't call it butterbeer, but I kept calling it butterbeer because it should have been butterbeer. Whatever.
They were calling it frozen butterbeer for a hot minute, but then Warner Brothers was like, cease and desist.
Really? That makes
Yeah, it was a weird licensing thing, and so they had to call it, something else.
Well, that's Warner Brothers for you.
They were delicious, and I had a lot of them.
Yeah, they're so good. It's dangerous how delicious they are.
Yeah, especially with the hour or 2 hour break in between.
Is there alcohol in them?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Well,
you can get them without, but like,
why would you?
Why bother?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You too. I can't
Nikki,
wait for a cocktail hour with the 3 of us. Lord.
I know it. What's the
Maybe I'll
last show
finally
that you
find
saw,
my
Nick?
turn. School of Rock.
Oh, wow. It's been a while, huh?
It's been a while. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I heard it was really good, though.
It was good. It was very good. The kids were insanely talented.
Yeah, those kids were outrageously talented.
Yeah, that was the only other movie audition that I ever had.
You auditioned for the movie?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I auditioned for School of Rock. They said, it was for a plus size, girl, and they decided to go, with the girl that they went with. But yeah, I had an audition, and it was a lot of fun. And I mean, just the prospect of getting to work with Jack Black was, oh my God.
Yeah, that was before Hairspray.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I've never seen the movie, so I have zero idea of what you're...
It's telling us that we have 10 minutes left.
Yeah, I just saw that also.
Oh, no.
It's asking me if I want to upgrade. I'm like, this is a theme of my life. Something's always asking me if I want to upgrade.
We can always, if we lose it, we can just start it again, and then we can just use them together. That's not a problem.
Awesome.
Do you know the next question?
Yes.
Me? Should I just pick any of the questions that were on that list? Yeah. Well, since we were just talking about musicals, why don't we stick to that theme and let's talk about the first show that you ever did.
Oh, gosh. The first show I ever did? Ever? I think, Diana, you were in it with me.
Wizard?
The Wizard of Oz, yeah.
Oh, shut up. That was my first play, too.
Really? I was the Wicked Witch of the West.
I was Glinda.
Yes.
Oh
Oh
God.
my
And I
God.
played the great and powerful Oz.
Of course you were Glinda and I was the Wicked. Of
I
course.
will see to this day that I had the singing part and you didn't, because it makes no sense in my mind whatsoever. I don't know what they were thinking.
I don't think they, please. That was also the same time that I was told by the teacher at the time, I'm not going to give you the role of Dorothy because you can't memorize lines. All right.
So she
That
gave you the
worked out
Wicked
well.
Witch because the Wicked Witch doesn't speak? I don't understand.
Right. No, she doesn't speak or memorize monologues at all. Please. And at the same time, I was like, well, now I'm just going to go do it for a profession. So enjoy that one.
Nikki, how old were you guys when you did that show? What year was that?
Oh gosh, what were we like 12?
2001.
Sixth grade?
2001. Wow.
8th grade. Yeah.
That's hilarious. It was 8th grade when I did The Wizard of Oz.
Seems like forever ago, guys.
It does. It was a good show. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, our shows were always fun. And then when I went over to South, that's when I got heavy into it. That's when I like really dove full force with the Sweeney Todd and Les Mis and Carmen and all that stuff. So
Is Sweeney Todd, was that the first show that you did at South?
no, the first show I did at South was Deflator Mouse, the opera, but I was just in the chorus. But
Got it.
then the first big role I got at South was Madame Thenardier in Les Mis.
I remember
Great role.
that. I went to all of South shows, and I just remember the whole production itself was just so professional level. Like, we did good shows at North, but South just somehow took it to the next level. And
Well, there is a key factor at South that has now, this one thing at South, this one human, this brilliant human, has now gone through the course of my career with me, and it's Dr. Levy. South had her first, and now North has her. But this woman has been a constant throughout my life. She's just brilliant. So when you have a teacher like that, you learn anything really is possible.
it's really important to have mentors like that.
Yes, absolutely. And I think if you open your eyes wide enough, you can learn so much from people.
Yeah.
You
You just have to be willing.
The kids in the class, all my friends, they used to dick around and they would talk over Doc, and I would get ticked off because this is a Juilliard trained pianist. The woman does this for a living. She's amazing, and you're going to talk over her? I think not. So I'd be like, guys, literally stop. I would get upset. So I took it very seriously. And then when Hairspray came out, and, Doc was like, well, she took it seriously.
Yeah.
Because they were all like, why are you going to do this? And, well, first of all, because I auditioned. Okay.
Right.
I asked and did that. Secondly, just go for it.
I remember when I found out you got the role, and I think my mom called me because it was in Newsday or something like that. And she called me, and I remember just being like, not surprised. Like, it just made sense. Like, yes, of course she did. Not a question about it. And I remember that. I was away at college when I found out, and it was just the most perfect sense thing I've ever heard in my life.
See, I love that it makes sense in your head, because it doesn't make sense in my head. It makes sense. But what it does is it goes, are you delusional? Do you really think you did this? Because it happens several times a day where I'm like, this can't be. As I'm writing my book and I'm telling the stories, I'm going, I'll read it back and I'll go, are you listening to yourself? This can't be real. And then I'm like, and then I write, just so you all know, this is all very real.
There's an actual, I want to say mental issue for that, but it's called imposter syndrome. And it's really popular, especially in millennials, where we're almost surprised by our own accomplishments. That we almost feel like we grew up in a world where we saw all these things and we're doing it now. But when you think about it, it's so out of body experience that it doesn't feel like you. And it's something I noticed, I would go on job interviews, or recently I was on a podcast, the interview about starting my own company, and I'm talking about it. And the words are coming out of my mouth and I'm like, this is not real. this can't be real. This isn't me. I'm clearly an imposter. But like, I know I did all these things, but it's like, is it? I mean, is it, or is it like a weird like glitch in the matrix? Like, this doesn't seem like it can be real.
You're like, is this a parallel universe? I don't understand. Yeah, I get it. It happens daily.
And it's a good thing. It keeps us grounded.
Yes, absolutely.
That's so scary.
Well, I have no time for people who aren't humble and down to earth. People will see me in the grocery store and they'll be like, you do your own grocery shopping? And my answer is, I do my own laundry too. How about that? Like, I am a human being. I have wants, needs, feeling. We all are. And I think it's incredibly important to remain humble and human in this business because it can suck the soul right out of you.
Stars, they're just like us.
Yes, as us.
Well, most of them. Not all of them, but most of them.
Hopefully most. All right. Pick a question, D. Take it away.
Are we about to get cut off? Should we?
2 minutes and 47 seconds.
Let's do a quick question. What's your favorite show?
Oh, gosh. Favorite show? Broadway show or TV show?
Let's do both.
Both.
All right. Broadway show, it's always going to be Sweeney Todd. Always. TV show, high school, it was Will and Grace. Always. Ginno is clearly the Jack to my Karen. We all know this. I just started watching Hollywood, though. Excited. I'm into it.
Amazing, right?
It's very good. It's really good.
There's some good stuff out there right now. I'm impressed with the quality of television.
Have you seen The Politician, another Ryan Murphy show?
I have not seen The Politician. I watch American Horror Story and,
Love.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. That's because I'm a baby and like afraid of my shadow. So I probably would not be able to see it if I wanted that.
But here's a good one for you to watch that won't scare you. Cult. I don't think Cult is that scary.
Like, when I say I really.
Well, it's like scary in a different way because it's more like it's kind of what happened after the election, So it's scary in a more like, ooh, this is legit kind of way. There's like definitely the weird, fake, like spooky, weird shit that he does, but it's a little more based in reality, which is what makes it such a horror story.
Okay, so when this ends, I'm gonna convert it, upload it. Now I'm speaking another language, and we'll then go into another one so we can finish this out. So we have less than a minute.
We'll jump back in.
It's going to end anything.
The movie Scary Movie gave me nightmares for a really long time.
Did you see Dance Flick?
I did not see Dance Flick.
You know that it's like a joke or a parody of Tracy. Yeah.
That's hysterical.
I'm a baby.
I didn't watch it.
I really am a baby. It's sad.
You'll be all right. Well, I'll bring you a set of one of my horror movies, so you'll see that it's all of us out.
I'll be like hiding in the closet the whole time, be like, I'm good, guys. I'm good. I don't need to be on the set.
They're fun. It's a lot of fun. We're all just waiting for this to end.
I know. I'm like, is this going to end?
Waiting for it to end.
Or does it automatically upgrade you?
Gotta jump off.
Do you have to jump? All right, let's jump.
I'm saying, like,
because I feel like at this point we're all just here we go. We're gonna try and get Diana in for the second portion of this. Hopefully Ginno comes back for the rest of the program. I don't know. Maybe he went to grab a drink at the bar. I don't know. Hopefully that would be nice. What bar? I don't know because there's not many open. But what can you do? He's a resourceful little guy. He's a crafty little fella. Let me tell you, Ginno Murphy will find a vodka soda. Don't try him, people. As I say this, I'm looking for my Diet Peach, and I've somehow misplaced it. Oh, here it is. I got it. All right. Diana, here we go. You guys know I'm constantly with the Diet Peach. I really just need to play Wendy the Snapple Lady in a movie.
Seriously. Someone wanted to come say hi.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Bassett. How are we?
How are you?
I'm good. I feel so honored you're on the podcast.
Wow, I feel honored too. I mean, honestly, I am by far the best looking.
I agree. You know, hey, look,
Exactly, right? Imagine if I brushed my hair. It'd be amazing.
as John Lennon says, imagine.
I think he needs a haircut. Look at that.
This is actually the longest I think my
It's
hair
not
has
even like
ever
in
been.
the angle. There you go.
Really? Diana, you haven't wanted to take some scissors and help him out?
I want to help myself first. Do you see this?
Yeah, well, well, that's amazing, though. So long.
Oh, it's everywhere. Like
Yeah, it's
everywhere.
like mid butt.
You understand? I'll be like sleeping in bed and I'll be at the edge of the bed and I'll hear him go, "You're suffocating me with your hair." I'm like, I'm at the end of the bed. What
Yes.
are you going to do?
It's
I
a problem.
know.
Sometimes I throw it on her and she suffocates a little bit.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm like, where is this all coming from? Oh, it's attached to me.
Yes. Yeah. There was a story one time after the LA premiere of Hairspray, I went and I took all my extensions out. And my hair I had extensions that were like down to here. And they were the clip-in ones. And I walked in from the premiere, I was exhausted, and I just popped them out and I tossed them. I guess they fell on the floor. I didn't know. My friend was staying in the hotel with me. She did not know. She went to walk to the bathroom. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was pitch black, and she just saw like a thing. It looked like fur. And we were in a hotel. She just went, "Ah!" And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "There's an animal in the room." I'm like, "It's impossible. We're on like the 14th floor of a hotel in LA." It was my extensions.
That's really funny. Oh, here's Ginno.
Those are scary.
Hey, Ginno.
Yes.
He's popping to say hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm back. Sorry, I had to eat something.
You know, this is Diana's husband, Nick.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing fine.
Hey, look, we match.
Yeah, we're both black.
We've been together too long.
Pardon.
Never.
Okay, kicking you out.
Okay, bye-bye.
We love you, bud. Thanks. I live for Nick's, every once in a while when you say Nick says, or Nick said this, or Nick laughed, I feel accomplished when I make Nick laugh.
An amusing person.
All right. So, G, go crank on one for me.
Where did we leave off?
I think the last one was musicals.
And you mentioned your favorite TV shows.
Yes. You were going to ask me, Diana, about traveling.
Yes. What was your favorite city to ever film in?
Film in Toronto. It's always Toronto. We filmed Hairspray there. It was magic. We all moved up there as a company for over 6 months. Yeah, Toronto is my favorite place to film in.
Did you film anything else there besides Hairspray?
I did. I filmed a show called Valemont for MTV, which was a
Oh my
web
God,
series.
that's right.
Yeah, and we went up. Well, we went past Toronto. We went all the way up past Hamilton, like up north, and it was like a vacant little town, and it was very creepy, but it was great. It was perfect for the setting.
That was filmed in an old school or something, right?
It was filmed in an abandoned insane asylum.
Did anything freaky ever happen to you while you were filming that?
No, I don't know. It was more so just like, it was so hot. It was like, that was the scariest part of it all. It was like 100 degrees in Toronto, and we were all just like so hot. And I'll never forget, I said, well, I have to get a wrap gift that is like, good, one that actually people will enjoy. So I went and I sent my mother to Tim Hortons, which is like Canada's.
Yes.
I sent her to Tim Hortons. I gave her my credit card. I said, get 200 iced cappuccinos. She came back. She goes, do you understand the looks that I got when I went and said I want 200 iced cappuccinos? She's like, I'm lucky I didn't get killed.
I can't imagine the person that had to fill that order.
And now that I
must have
work
been
at
rough on
Starbucks,
them.
I feel awful.
Well, as long as you tipped appropriately, that's
I always tip.
the important part.
Always.
We were talking about beauty care before. Why don't you tell us some of your favorite skincare lines?
Skincare lines, I've been using a lot of Glam Glow recently, but and there's this amazing mask by Glam Glow that I've been using at least like once a week. But I really am I've always been into La Mer. They're everything. I was introduced to them by Jordan Samuel on Hairspray, my makeup artist, and the minute that under eye cream went on, that was it. I was like, oh, no wonder this stuff is so expensive because it's amazing. If you've ever put La Mer on your
Yeah.
face, you know what's up.
Do you use that every day, or like
I
is that a
use
once in a while kind of thing?
I use the La Mer toner and the La Mer like moisturizer daily.
I do love a good toner.
Yep. You know.
I live for toner. Yeah, I feel like it really made a difference once I discovered toner on my skin.
Yeah.
You know what's made the biggest difference in me with my makeup routine is it's called the Chubby Stick, and it's from Clinique, and my friend Ibrahim sent it to me. It's amazing. It's incredible, the Chubby Stick. I know. I know where your mind
Yeah,
went.
you know my brain brought it straight to the gutter.
The Chubby Stick. Hey, look, we all got a Chubby Stick, all right? Let's not relax. You know, but mine, no. So I use this on my face, not that Chubby Stick, the Clinique one, and it's like instant definition. It's like a nose job and like a little, you know.
What is it, like a highlighter or?
No, so it's like a brown. I had it somewhere. It's like it's a brown crayon type of thing, and I literally draw lines and then just rub it in, and it creates such definition.
Got it. There's that peach Snapple.
Oh, the diet peach, yes.
They should pay you the amount you drink on camera.
You know, I agree.
That's the endorsement that you need.
Yeah, that should be your dream endorsement.
It really is. I'm not kidding. And the goal is to have them put on a lower shelf at Stop and Shop so that I can reach them at 4'10". Because I write in my book that them being on the top shelf is one of the greatest challenges of my life.
Do you climb? Like, do you climb up? Because that's what I have to do at the supermarket.
I turn into a spider monkey. I don't care. I will scale the side of a wall to get pierogies. It's got to be done.
Don't you touch my peach Snapple.
Don't you touch my diet peach. You know, my brother one day, he made the fatal mistake of my mother gave him my last diet peach. That was the wrong thing to do. You could have given him my laptop. Do not give him my diet peach. I lost it.
I feel that though, because like I'm all for like everything in the fridge is obviously mine and Nick's. Like, you know, we could share everything. But I have this thing that if it's leftovers or something I was really looking forward to and it was eaten, I'm gonna be so angry.
Yes.
Like, I will share everything that is mine is yours except my leftovers. Don't
Yeah. We're that way on Thanksgiving in my household. Like, we will put our names on the leftovers. We do not mess around when it comes to Karen Blonsky stuffing. Those leftovers are worth every single tinfoil wrap around it. They're amazing.
That's hilarious. It's pretty much a free-for-all in this house most of the time. Like recently I made empanadas and I made like 30 of them or whatever. And it was like, we got down to like the last 10 and I was like, okay, 5 are mine, 5 are yours. You touch any of mine, you dead.
Yeah.
There's certain make or break in relationships and it always seems to be food.
Yeah. And you have to lay the line, because if you don't lay a boundary, divorce.
Yeah.
Divorce. I don't really think I think the diet, but see, I'm that person that I would have just enough diet peach for whoever I was with and myself. Like, I would stock, just don't. Everything else, though, is fair game. You can have the chicken parm, you can have, but just leave me one, a cold one, preferably. It doesn't take much, kids, not much.
You'd be surprised when you get into, that serious relationship, how many fights you're going to start with.
Well, the funny part is I thought I've had a few serious with them, but they weren't. They were not. They were the biggest jokes of all. But anyway, moving on.
Oh, she's back. There she is.
The connection was unstable. Talking about relationships, the connection was unstable. Yeah, well, there you go. But done. Next question.
Oh, Lord.
Gino, you want to go for the next one?
Sure. I'm trying to keep in mind like what we've already asked because I don't want to accidentally ask something. Oh, here's a good one. So you've worked with some incredibly like famous talent, John Travolta, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken, Burt Reynolds, all who I'm sure you had an incredible experience with. Who do you most look forward to working with in the future?
I'd be blessed to work with any of those people again, whether it be from Hairspray or any other projects that I've done. Obviously, working with Bert was such a blessing because we got to work together before he passed. I actually got to spend his last Christmas with him, and that was just amazing. So if I could work with, I have to say, the one person I would really love to work with again is Elijah Kelly.
Interesting.
Something happens when Elijah and I go on screen together. We don't really know what it is, but when we sing together, he calls me. He left me a voice note, and he was like, "Nick, my motherfucking partner," and that's what we call each other because we very much are. I know that when I'm acting with Elijah, I know that it's gonna be there. Some people
just explicit on this episode.
What is very explicit?
Explicit warning on this episode.
Yes.
Oh, are we supposed to be watching our language?
At this point, no.
I think we've lost it at this point. I'll just put an explicit thing on the
Yeah, it's all gone to hell in a handbasket now. So anyway.
Next time I'll keep that in mind.
But obviously, I think
I'm so proud of myself.
I think obviously John would be a dream to work with again.
Who's someone you haven't worked with that'd be your dream to work with?
There you go. That's exactly what I was going to ask.
But you do it, sorry.
No, that's okay.
I have one from like an older generation and then one from a generation of today. If I could work with anybody of an older generation, it would be Angela Lansbury.
Legend.
Idol. She's my everything. It would be her. Somebody of this generation, like, closer to our age bracket, I'm going to have to go with Angelina Jolie. I would love to be directed by her.
I love that you put Angelina Jolie in our age bracket. I was literally expecting like Jennifer Lawrence,
Kristen Stewart,
right? And then she's like Angelina Jolie. Do you know how old she is? Not in our age bracket.
But see, in my mind,
she looks it though.
Yeah.
God, she's stunning. When I met her up close, I was just like.
Well, that's one of my favorite photos of you, the two of you, when you like first met her, and just the both of you have the same look of like, oh my God, like this is this person, and it's so fucking cute. Sorry, and it's so cute. I love it.
Don't worry, you can curse at this
Well,
point.
she was very much that person in high school for me that, I saw her career. She had such an arc in her career. She started with some smaller projects and then really grew. And now, I've always looked up to her immensely. I've always looked up to her work, with the organizations that she's involved with. And I just think she's a stellar human being and a wonderful mom. Yeah. So when I met her, there was very much that look of, because when she looked at me and said, Tracy Turnblad, and I went, what?
You know who I am?
I didn't, who know? I didn't, I never know. That's the always weird thing about Hairspray is people will say to me, oh my God, I love the movie. And I talk about Hairspray like 30 times a day, but I don't live in Hairspray land. Like I just keep it moving. And throughout the day, it finds its way of popping back up. But at some point, you just move on to the next thing. But it's something that Hairspray is something that I'll always revisit.
Yeah, well, and when Angelina Jolie calls you Tracy Turnblad, you say, what do you need?
Yes, you say,
Crazy.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
Tracy's my name. I am now legally changing it.
Yes, please, are you kidding? She's everything. She's an
She
idol of
is.
mine.
And an incredible activist.
Yes.
She's just flawless in everything she does. It's amazing.
Yeah.
She makes a
I'm
great
like
model.
waiting to hear some horrible story about her so I can just be like, oh, she's not perfect.
Yeah, but I don't think they exist.
I don't either.
Well, when I met Angelina, she's a human, and that's what, because you see this beauty, right? She's stunning, and then you see the acting, and you're like, oh my God, she's phenomenal. But then when she talks about her kids to you, like we just had a conversation about her family,
Yeah.
and that instantly, she was a human being to me. She's stellar. So she would be the one of today's generation.
Any up and coming actors that you're hoping to be able to work with?
I mean, I've been seeing a lot of new. I think that the Riverdale cast is stellar. KJ Appa and Dylan Sprouse, and all those kids on there, Lily Reinhart. I think they're doing a great job. They're led by Molly Ringwald, so they can't really be. Come on, she's the icon of the '80s. So
She's just the best.
yes,
That show confuses me so much, though, and I'm still a diehard fan of it. But like, I don't understand what's going on anymore in that show.
yeah, it's a lot.
I've got to start watching it. I've not started watching it, but when The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina hit Netflix, and I was like, oh, I got to watch this. This is right up my alley. And I was obsessed. And they make several references to Riverdale.
In the universe, yeah.
Well,
And
another
so
one that
I'm like, no, I got to watch this.
Another young actress that I would love to work with is Anna Sophia Robb. I think
Oh,
she's
yeah.
wonderful. I think I watched her in the Carrie Diaries, and I just think her acting choices are spot on. And I think she's just a cool person, and I think she's going to be very much going in the same direction as Charlize Theron and Margot Robbie, and I think she has staying power. So I would love to work with her.
Yeah, think about it. She's had a pretty long career for such a young person already.
Yeah.
They filmed the Carrie Diaries in Roslyn.
Did they?
Yeah, I remember I was watching. I saw the famous clock tower, and I was like, "Wait a second, that's like 5 blocks away." I was looking around all the time.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Nikki, where was it that you filmed The English Teacher? That was out on Long Island, right?
Oh, Port Washington.
Washington.
That was a crazy movie. I mean, showing up to that set, that was a blast, because also getting to film in your backyard is kind of amazing.
Yeah.
You filmed a movie in Great Neck itself. You filmed Harold at Great
I
Neck.
did film Harold in Great Neck. I literally rolled out of bed in the morning and went to my old middle school, and I was at work. I've
That's
never
amazing.
been so happy to walk in that damn middle school in my life. I walked in there with a whole new step, a new little pep in my step. I was like, guess who's not staying this time, mofos? I'm out of here when we wrap. Bye-bye. Yeah, middle school for me, you guys, it was a tough time. It wasn't an easy time. I was losing my grandmother, and I was also auditioning for Hairspray at the time, and it was intense. So I just wasn't a fan of middle schools, but that's when I found theater, and that's when things started to make sense.
Yeah.
Is that when you knew you wanted to go on this path, or did
Yes.
you always know? Kind of. It was then.
When I started singing at the age of 3, I was like, all right, something in me just felt good when I sang. I can't explain what happens when I sing. People always ask me, what do you feel? I'm like, I can't explain it to you. It's a release like no other. It's an expression like no other. But yeah, I always knew after I started training at the age of 8 with an opera coach, and I just knew I wanted to put the work in. I did. And by the time I turned 12, I was paying for my own singing lessons because I was, babysitting on the weekends, saving up my money. And then by the age of 16, I was auditioning for Hairspray, and 17, there we go. So
Amazing. I mean, not that many people know their dream and then get to act out on it and do it and fulfill it in such like quick turnaround. And I mean, I know it's not a quick turnaround. It's like 10 years there, but like, I don't know. I just think about like people in their 40s and 50s who are just starting to like get it. It's really amazing that you can turn around and say like, this is what I want to do, and I did it. And I think it says so much about your character.
I'm a person that I just go balls to the wall. I don't half-ass anything, and if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right. And with Hairspray, it was just there at that time. It just everything kind of it was very meant to be, I think. I don't
Yeah.
know. It worked that way, and it's the greatest blessing in my life. And yeah, I will always want to be in this business. People say to me all the time, um, you know, when do you want to retire? I say, I don't want to retire. I want to croak on a movie set. Let me go out doing what I love, you know?
That actually brings me to my next question. Do you ever see yourself on the other side of the camera?
Well, I recently just directed a video for an ex-friend of mine. Um, and
That sounds like a
Who
whole
shall not
story.
be named.
Well, please, we don't have time for those idiosyncrasies. But so with that, I directed the video for her. It was for The Voice, it was an audition tape. And I kind of knew that I had to direct it when I said, "Can you please introduce yourself?" Because this is the introduction part of the audition. You know, you sing and then you do a little introduction. I did it with my Hairspray audition, do it with every audition. She was like, "What's an introduction?" Introduce yourself. So you know what I did? I went into the wherever we were in the city, typed it up. I wrote down all the facts that I knew about her, and yeah, there you go. She read it off a piece of paper. But so I found that to be interesting, taking that director stance with that. I've produced before. Now I am heavily getting into producing. My next project is going to be it's really going to be my first big producing, like first big with my hat in the ring, other than just an actor. And I can't wait. It's a passion project, so it's going to be awesome.
We'll definitely have to come back and do a little interview on you on that when there's more information to be available.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
What's your favorite movie?
You know, favorite movies for me, it, there's like a handful that stick out. It's always Mary Poppins.
Oh, good choice.
That it's just that feel good movie for me. Mary Poppins is very much my Hairspray for people. Um,
Julie Andrews is one of my idols, so I understand that.
Me too. She's everything. She's just incredible. 10 Things I Hate About You will always be my favorite romantic comedy. Remember the Titans is one of my favorite movies of all time. You want to see me cry? Just slap that on. Um, there's a lot of movies that I find myself always going back to Saturday Night Fever. That is, I love a Travolta film like nobody else. Let me tell you what. I am that man's biggest fan. So I sit here and when I write my book, I'm sitting here, I'm like, more than a woman. I mean, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I just say 10 Things I Hate About You, I feel like is like the movie of our generation. Nobody else our generation knows about it or cares about it, but you had to be the right age when we were like, what, middle school when it came out, and it hit
Yeah.
all perfectly. And I'll admit, I still quote that movie like no other. Like, I know you can be overwhelmed and you can be underwhelmed, but you can be overwhelmed. And then what are you talking about? I'm like, we can't be friends anymore.
Yeah. Well, I just had an audition and they said do a monologue. Pick whatever one you want. And I was like, do I? And I went with, I hate the way you look at me.
Oh my God.
And I went in on Kat's monologue and it felt amazing.
It's a great one. I love it. And it's like, and I hate the way I don't hate you at all. Not even a little bit. Not even.
Not even.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I love that.
Yes. Oh God. Yeah, it's amazing.
Nikki, did you end up getting that role that you used that monologue for?
No. No, it wasn't a specific role. It was for just like a casting office. Like it was just like send in
Got
some
it.
tapes just so we have some material on you. But you know, guys, I do a lot of auditions, and what I do when I go into an audition, I go in, I prepare, I drive myself insane so I make sure it's all right, and then I leave it in the room. I'm not one of those actors that's gonna go home and beat myself up Why didn't I get it? It could be something as simple as my hair was too curly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or they didn't like my top. Who knows? I'll never know. So, just in order to ease my own mind, I just leave it in the room and get ready for the next one.
Do you have like a list of monologues or songs that you use for auditions, or do you just kind of like tailor whatever monologue you're going to use to whatever the audition material is?
It's a lot of tailoring. I do it based on, what they're asking for, what type of project it is. Um, but there is a group of songs that I pull from. If it's like a Broadway driven project, then maybe I'll try my hat at Don't Rain on My Parade or a Linda Eder song. But if it's something more update and modern, I could be singing Torn by Natalie Imbruglia.
Yeah.
I kind of like to go all over.
Okay, if you don't mind sharing with us, can you tell us what your most disastrous audition was?
My most disastrous audition.
Something that you walked out of there at the time, you're like, this is going to be a great story later on.
Well, my Hairspray dance audition.
Really?
Yes, because I never danced a day in my life before that movie. I was always a klutz. And I remember the words that came out of my mother's mouth to my father on the phone were, "Hi, hon, we're here for the audition. It's a dance audition." Yeah, I think we've lost it here. I mean, it's true. I was never a dancer. So for me, I remember going in there and I remember leaving it all in the room and just saying, it may not have been the best, but I know that I gave my all. There have been a couple auditions that I've walked out of and I'm just like, I would rather pretend that didn't happen. But I have to say, I just make sure I'm prepared for everyone.
All right, Nikki, I think you froze. I'm sorry.
I froze.
Now you're just on a delay.
I'm here.
Yeah, your words are just trailing after you. It's fine. That works. Better than being frozen.
All right.
I only have one left question to ask. What's your favorite dish to cook?
Favorite dish to cook. I really enjoy a potted skirt steak, and it's the simplest thing in the world. It's just like a braised skirt steak. All I do is take a skirt steak, season it, salt, pepper, onion powder, right? Crazy, crazy stuff, guys. And I throw it in a pot with like 2 onions and I fill water up over it and you leave it on the stove for like 2 hours. It's amazing.
Sounds great.
Yes.
I can't cook at all, so.
It'll be on the post-quarantine buffet in Blonsky Land when you all come over.
Love that.
The Blonsky buffet. Step on up, kids.
Gina, did you have any other questions you wanted to ask?
No, not that I can think of. I think we covered it all.
I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
Will you stay in my life forever? Because I love the shit out of both of you.
I don't think that's an option.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. I was just checking. Because it really
What kind of question is that?
It was a rhetorical question because you didn't have an option to answer. I was just going to answer for you. The answer was yes. You're going to be in my life forever.
Guys, I don't think I'm allowed to say no to that. No.
Yeah, it's all up to you, girl.
I mean, look, you can go to the amusement park, but some people choose not to ride the rides. Get on the damn ride of life and enjoy it.
And enjoy it. All the ups and downs.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs. But I can honestly say one of the greatest things that's happened from this quarantine has been Nikki Nights and the podcast and being able to talk to so many incredible people and hear just wonderful stories. And, in a time right now that things seem so intense and scary and we don't know the course of the world and we hope for a change and a better future, I think it's really just important to just find something to keep you personally going. And this has personally done that for me.
You're on how many episodes now of this?
Oh my gosh. Well, Lainey Kazan is going to be our 100th episode. And Lainey will be July 20th. We'll be chatting with her. It's going to be actually July 20th is the anniversary of Hairspray. So every year,
Hairspray release. That's right.
yeah. So that's going to be a fun day. So I guess we're probably going on like 110 now. By the time we'll finish out the summer, it might be like 120 or something around there.
Way more than that.
Yeah,
It's gonna
probably.
be to the 150 by the time we finish the summer.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, if Nikki had her way, it would be at like 350 because she was like, let's do 5 a day. And I'm like, there's not enough hours in the day to do this.
I know.
You
I
can't burn yourself out, girl.
I know. I have to learn how to relax.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
I
you're a
feel
workhorse. That's how you got to where you are. You work hard and you go all in, and that's so admirable.
I don't know. I'm a person, I really just enjoy the work that I do. And it doesn't feel
Well,
like,
and you can tell it shows.
I just feel very lucky to be doing what I do because I know that there are so many actors out there that want to be in the position that I'm in. But like Jonathan Sadowski and I were talking yesterday on my podcast, you got to get out there and put the work in and grind.
Yeah.
And, you know, because he was saying people DM me all the time and ask me, oh, can you help me? I want to be an actor. Or can you tell me what to do? He said, yes, here's what you do. Quit everything and move to LA. And he's like, and you don't really see a lot of people do that or following these instructions. He's like, because I'm not about to sit there. I said, exactly. You're not about to sit there and walk them through the door and hold their hand. I said, because nobody
Right.
did that for us. Look, Ryan Seacrest said it perfectly. He said, it takes nothing to light somebody else's candle with your flame. But at the same time, while we can build people up, it's time for people to just really understand that if you want something, let's make
You
it
got to
happen
earn it.
for yourself.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I actually did a Q&A on my company's Instagram page, and somebody asked me the question, what's my favorite type of client to work with? And my answer was someone who's passionate about what they're doing, about their work, about their brand, about everything they're putting out there. Because when they're passionate about it, that passion is contagious. And it just makes it more fun. And I was really thinking about you when I wrote that answer because you're one of my most favorite, I can't speak apparently, my most favorite clients that I've ever worked with because you're just so excited about everything, whether it's something small, something huge. Everything is huge because it's fun and it should be huge and it's really contagious.
Well, thank you. And I feel the same way about working with you too, though, because I've worked with a lot of publicists that have been, you know, a little less than dull and, you know, just not excited. And I need somebody, you know, my life is every day when I wake up, you guys, I don't know what the crapshoot's going to be. I don't know what's going to be coming in the DMs. I don't know. But that's the exciting part about this business is one day you could be working on a movie set and one day you could not. Then you could be God knows where. So as my uncle used to say, take it one day at a time and enjoy the ride.
Yeah. And stay humble. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Stay humble, you know. It's not that hard to humble yourself. You know, I look at people like John, and he's like one of the biggest celebrities in the world, but is the most humble man I've ever met. So when you have these people around you, the John Travoltas, the Burt Reynolds of the world, you quickly see that just because you're a massive celebrity doesn't mean you have to be a massive asshole.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a saying, don't be a dick, it's not that hard. Just don't.
Yeah. I think the celebrities that are assholes probably would be assholes as normal civilians also.
Probably. Well, it's
Yeah, I
also
mean,
things stem from insecurities, and we all have insecurities. But one thing that, you know, I am thankful to have probably more than any other like quality, I guess, is my self-confidence. Because, you know, I was talking today to somebody and we were talking about plus size actors and people in this business. And I said, you know, people like Carney Wilson and Ricky Lake, you know, really paved the way. But before them, it was Cass Elliot and people like this. So you have to give credit where credit is due. And if it wasn't for those women, I might not have a spot in this industry. So you have to humble yourself and you have to realize that it's because of other people's work and hard work that, we are able to get somewhere in today's world.
Absolutely.
Are we frozen?
No,
Oh,
I
no,
just
you're not
stopped
frozen.
talking. I was like, I was
I
done.
think Diana froze.
Oh gosh. Well,
I'm unfrozen now. You guys were frozen on my side. So I guess we're probably all froze.
is that the name of the
Got it.
episode?
Now
Unfrozen?
it's stable. Yeah, the internet cable is unstable.
It's the story of my life.
I know the feeling.
Well, I know the feeling of love because I have it for both of you. Thank you guys.
Aw, love you so much.
And
Love you.
likewise.
And thanks for not just being on my team, but for being like two of the biggest supporters of my life because you guys know being in this business it's tough and to have friends that are really down for you and actually care means a lot. So thanks.
Well, it's such an important thing to like applaud your friends' successes. I have too many people in my life who, especially in this industry, who get pissed when somebody gets a job that they wanted, and it's like, well, why would you be mad because sure, you didn't get that job, but we have to be able to hold each other up and
Yeah.
support each other because one day you're going to be in a position where you want somebody's support.
Absolutely.
Well, your time will come, my time will come, everybody's time will come. We just gotta have patience and rock with
Yep.
it until that time comes. And if somebody else's time comes before yours, then you congratulate them, be the bigger person, and you move on.
Yeah, it's really important to just show that love and support.
Yeah.
Completely agree. There's no reason why we need to take away from anyone else's successes.
Yeah.
No, there's no point. We're all on our own individual paths and journeys, and there's so much to be learned every day. I mean, literally, as human beings, we're faced with like 4 million decisions daily, from what milk we put in our coffee to whatever. But at the end of the day, if we can lay our head down and say, I'm a decent human being, then
Yeah.
it's all that really matters.
Preach.
I plan on it in my new book.
Yeah, girl.
Yes. Well, I'm going to go tickle these keys and pound out some more chapters. I love you both dearly, and I'll see you later.
Bye.
Love you, mama.
Bye. Oh my gosh. To be chatting with two of my favorite human beings, and they are. You guys, it's one thing to have a publicist in this business, and it's one thing to have a friend in this business. It's a different thing to have a publicist who supports you as a friend and is there for you as a friend. And family, really. And Ginno, that man, I can't help but get like a little choked up when I think about Ginno because he has seen me through more hard times and he has been a constant wave of love and support in my life. So I love you guys. I cherish every single memory that I have with you, and I can't wait to create new ones. Hopefully, at a bar when the quarantine is over, and maybe we could finally find what I drink because finding a drink for me is impossible. But what's not impossible is being your friend because I really cherish it. So thank you, Ginno Murphy, Diana Bassett, and Nick Bassett. Thank you, sir, for making a cameo on Nikki Nights. I am honored. Really, we've all heard, on you in the background on Diana's Zooms, and I love hearing you and knowing that, we got to chat with you and I just love seeing you guys happy. I love seeing my friends happy. I do. Just because you don't have love right now doesn't mean that they'll never come, but at the same time, like Ginno was saying, be happy for your friends. Whether it be for their successes in work, love, careers, just be supportive. And I couldn't be more blessed to have two